So it's got a lot of elements with Ethiopian, but Ethiopian is its own distinct kind of food. I would say it more closely aligns with the like Rwanda, Burundi, Malawi, Uganda region. So all the places surrounding Lake Victoria and Lake Malawi. Um, so it's like the southern part of East Africa, less so like the Horn. Um, yes, like very very hearty food. The primary carbohydrate is like rice, perfectly spiced, of course. Use of various tubers, um, and oh my goodness, like things like the lamb shank just like falls off the bone. Incredible. Great vegetarian options too. That's the thing about East African food. East African and South Asian food. If you had to go vegetarian, those would be the two cuisines to do it in because you would never be unsatisfied. Love that food. Okay. Alright, so that's it for the housings. 2 5G zeros, pretty generous glob. So I'm going to put away this brush and move on to the BDZ. Since I don't have points yet, I'm just going to hydrate myself. Some water and some chai. Alright. Do a stretch. Thanks, honey. To make sure not to hit my overhead camera setup, which I think some of you saw. I've suspended my phone camera from some old climbing ropes that have been cut up and hung them from, yeah, the camera hammock. The bars for the curtains. It's pretty comical. And to keep it like more level, I've also used some more painter's tape to keep it level, because otherwise, you know, with the little hammock shape, it would be uneven. So I'm just gonna readjust this a little bit. I don't think it wants to go. We'll just leave it there. Okay. Next to BDZ. And if Juan wants to tune in, now's the time. Can't promise that it will look all that amazing, or sound all that amazing, but first time with these steps, right? First time for everything. So there's no neat way to do BDZ. It's always going to be a big mess, but I get a pretty small piece, not quite like a price or anything, but I first put a glob on the tip, because especially some of these don't have rounded tips, and then I brush upward from the bend all around the column so that I can't see the wire through it, but no thicker. I don't want it any thicker than not being able to see the wire through it. You can see a little bit of a tint of the gold through it, but and then you keep that glob up on the top. And then, since it's kind of messy, I just use this to straighten the bristles around the corner. Just around the bend a little bit, no more than 5 millimeters. And then I'll put it into the housing. If I ever need to plug the butt, then I'll do that on the board, but I don't do any more than this for the first time round. I'm already quite nervous about these swag key stabs. It was so much harder to put that wire in than it usually is for, you know, Duroc Alstabs or TX. So I'm nervous now. I'm worried these might be kind of sluggish. Gosh. Alright. I'm just going to do the other side of this again. About the glob less than half the grain of rice. Grab the head of the wire, and then in longitudinal strokes upwards toward the wire until I can't see any more of that gold, and then a little bit around the bend, about 5 millimeters. Oh, Johnny, I'm here to continue making food and about to eat. Please, don't hold up on food on account of me. Nutrition is important. Alright, so first thing you can notice about the swag key stab is that inside of the stem, the turn of the angle in the housing is like very acute. It's sharp. So I experienced a lot of resistance getting this wire in, and it pulled off a lot of BDZ, and I can see the head of it exposed kind of on the other side of the bend. So I'm a little worried that it's going to be a bit sluggish. So before I do the other stabs, I'm just going to test this one out right now on PCB. So maybe I need to change my technique mid these BDC fingers. Okay. No, I might actually use some of these. There's so many extra stickers from the LSABs. And confirm this is 1.6. Yep. And these look like 1.6. Well, I don't know if this figures into it at all, but I would say not for TX, but for LSABs and other, I guess for all screw-ins, but not for clip-ins. I will use the sticker from the LSABs kits. You know, they also kind of, I've never used the ones that come with the switch films from Eskis, but those extra ones, pads in there, are technically little Teflon stickers. But I'm going to use, if I can find my tool, it's right here. Okay. Alright. Maybe I should figure out how to, well, maybe after I do the stabs, let's see if we can add some music. So these are hopefully 1 millimeter or less, you know, and they are kind of compressible. So even if your PCB is 1.6 and your stabs are good for 1.6, there's enough tolerance that they can accommodate them. Oh, nice. Alan, welcome to the stream. Thanks for coming to the inaugural stream. I appreciate you very much. I never thought I would be here, but seeing all of you do it has given me the confidence to just kind of go for it. And you're right, it really just takes a webcam microphone, and then we're cooking. So, alright, I need to remind myself which of these holes are the 7U stab holes. You know, I'm really glad this does have split space compatibility on the solder PCB. Oh, our VOD's gonna save. Another got a question. I did go through the settings before all of this and select the option to automatically save VODs. I have no idea if it's gonna happen. Again, it's just for how many days if you're not an affiliate or partner or whatnot? 14, and then up to 60 days. Oh, Johnny, like, you don't necessarily need to get yourself a mat. You should just do it on a extra, oh gosh, I scuffed this, desk mat that you don't care nearly as much about. Because that's how I've been doing it for well over a year. I just broke out this American Haptics mat for the first time a good year after buying it in celebration of this inaugural stream. It's going to take some use before all of the kind of folds work their way out. The last time I unfurled it, I re-rolled it in the reverse direction to hopefully undo those folds. Wait, what were you saying? The first one of us to get that right. To get what right? So, as I was saying with the split space compatibility, it's been a long time, but I actually did build a board with split space, and I kind of enjoyed it. But I haven't done one since, and I'm wondering if I should. But again, committed with the stabs, so we're not going to loop an extra stab for that. Plus I would need another 2U wire that is not in this kit. I could candleize them from my other Spikey stab kit, but not today. I wonder if I have it with me. Maybe I'll do a little show and tell halfway through. Let me see if I can find it. So all you can see in the background, my room is just hoarding. So this is my one non-40% of the split space. This is the Sharu Designs Sharon. Also, rest in peace, Sharu Designs. Topped with EPBT Zhuying. So those sub-legends are what I grew up learning in Sunday Chinese school. Both good and bad memories. It's built with tungsten switches. That's the back weight. I have it where it's uncoated, so it's already started to, you know, oxidize a little bit there. Little breath and set. So the purple and black, it was with the extras, you know, not the first choice, but it is kind of nice. And then it's built with tungstens, so very clacky. Right. So I have no idea what the sound quality is like on your end. So maybe I'll look at the VOD and see how that turns out. But down the road, future purchases will include microphone and DSLR capable of video. I don't know how far in the future. Maybe it'll be hurried along by the streaming. Alright. So that's the other split spacebar board I have. Let me finish putting the stickers on so that we can get the stabs in, just the one stab in, and test it, because I'm very worried about these Spikey stabs. is also the first day that I'm at the desk that I've totally redone my setup. So I used to have my PC tower in this direction, and then I moved it over here, and the monitor was right here in the middle, and I've moved it off to the side. It's giving me a ton more space for building, which is why I kind of chose this time to stream. As you can see, this is my my Koto Theme Extractor. It's going right into the wall, so we'll see how effective that is, but hopefully we should be alright. I'm glad we went to IKEA after all. Yeah. Yeah, I literally built that side table that night as I got home. I just like sat on the floor and just put together all the pieces. It was definitely a lot more complicated than the LAC table, which would have taken maybe 5 minutes. This one was very involved. So 2 tiers, 4 legs, 6 braces, and then I remember like 12 or 14 dowels, and then a whole bunch of like 28 of those screws. It's kind of a thing. Utility cart 1. You have to send a photo of that in the Discord.